What's up, guys? Welcome back to A-Lug Productions. I'm Jeremy. Finally getting back out in the garage after a 4-day holiday break. Spent time with family. Merry Christmas. This is actually probably going to be about 3 weeks after Christmas, so Happy New Year's as well. It's time to get back at it. I think about the only thing I got left to do is set up some bump stops, so that's what we're going to get at right now. These KMC off-road bump stops. They're 4-inch bump stops, which is probably way too big for what I've got or what I need, but I think we can make them work. What I'm going to do is, on their website it says Pin Mount Pro Series 2.0 bump stops. What I'm looking for is the pressure. The 2.0 series bump stops are designed for less than 5,000 pounds. That could be a problem. There it is. Typically, we start with a nitrogen charge of 300 to 400 psi. That is a lot. And then that will you adjust the pressure depending on where you need it. So I got a buddy that has a nitrogen kit, so I'm gonna let all the nitrogen out of this, and then set my full bump to about 3/8 of an inch, probably somewhere around in there. Yeah, probably somewhere around right around in there. Yeah, we'll just go with that. So that wasn't terrible. That should allow me to get this thing down to, so you're right about there. So this is full bump right here. So the can would go something very similar to that. Might actually be able to bring it out some. What I might do, and I was thinking about this the other night, is I'm probably going to cut this bracket off and then weld a plate down lower. That'll give me 1 inch more of travel down. This bracket here, I can, it's just the sway bar link bracket, so that's not a huge deal. This one is a huge deal. So what I might have to do is, I don't know exactly, and it's welded all in, so it may not be too bad. So I'll leave the weld there, but I'll cut this clean here and down around all that. So let's actually do that before we do anything else. The air compressor is so loud. This plasma cutter seems to work much better now that I've upped the air pressure a little bit. All right, so that actually did a pretty decent cut. And I think I can get in here on this side here and you'll get some of that. And I've cleaned all this up. I put a couple welds on there. So now it's time to get a plate ready for the top of this. So, all right, so that bump pad is going to sit something very similar to that. I might actually be able to trim this down on this side here. All right, I think that looks a lot better. So let's take it over to the piece of steel, trace it out, and get it cut out. So I'm not sure what happened here, but my audio is missing from my GoPro files, which is another thing that's bad about GoPro. What I did there was I got the plate in, I tack welded it into the opening that I just got cut out. Now I'm trying to figure out a decent mounting situation for these bump stops. The bump stops are actually way too long. Alright, so today is another one of those days where there was just pure frustration. Trying to figure out this bump stop thing, and it's getting to me. I know I ordered the wrong size, but then with the way everything is set up on this thing, the track bar, the way I've got it already bracket welded over there on the driver's side, and then it's just, I have like zero up travel. So I mean, I guess I really only need like a freaking 2-inch bump can. So I have twice the length that I need. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get this all installed. I mean, like right now, this almost looks like it's sitting at ride height. I don't think it is. So, yeah. All right, well, I mounted the shock. I went ahead, or coilover, I guess, is it a shock still? I mounted the coilover, mounted the wheels, and thankfully I lined it up just perfect accidentally that I didn't have to trim my inner fender at all. So that's nice. I got to get the other coilover charged. I think I might try to meet up with Baron tomorrow and get that charged. I still don't know about the bump stop. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do with that. I may see if I can't get Baron to come to the house and charge this shock up. And then kind of pick his brain about what he thinks I should be able to do with this coilover mount. Not coilover mount, bump stop mount. So Baron swung by. We talked a little bit about the bump stop, and I think what's going to happen is the bump stops are going to be put on hold until we get the full hydraulic on here. I'm pulling the trigger. I don't know if I've mentioned it in one of my other videos. I know I mentioned a couple times that I was thinking about doing it, but I'm gonna do it. I need more room up here. So getting rid of the pitman arm and the drag link, that's gonna give me more bump or more up travel on the passenger side, and it's just gonna make life much easier. What I might have to do is I may have to cut my track bar off, weld a new track bar on. I only need to move it forward like a 1/2 inch, maybe an inch. We'll just say, 1/2 inch. And right now I can't do that because the bolts for the steering box, those are in the way. So I get the steering box out of the way, and then I can have even more room for activities. But the coilover is mounted, and I have a bracket for the ABS. The bracket looks like this. Not super strong, but I just kind of need to hold this steady. So there's a bolt hole here that I can drill a hole through here on, and then I can mount it just like that there. And that should, I mean, it might move around a little bit, but you actually kind of want it some little bit of bounce, and that should be the end of the coilover build series.